Hello, welcome back to Drawing 8. Last time we talked about elements of art. Today we're going to talk about color, which is one of the elements of art. So let's open Photoshop and get started. Welcome back to Photoshop. Many students ask me, why are we using Photoshop? It is because Photoshop is used by many professional studio and working artists. That way we can learn their pipeline and their standard of being a digital artist. Moreover, we can actually train our organization skills and also plan better for our work of progress. So now let's go back to color. There are three components of color: hue, saturation, and value. Hue is basically another word for color. So yellow, blue, red, they're hue. Saturation is the purity of color. And value is from white to black. So white and black or even gray, they are not color. They are value. So I'm going to pull our reference pictures of the day. We are going to paint this in a digital way and also with a new tool called Smudge Tool. Okay, now I'm going to go back to this page. As you can see, if I enable this layer, I have already made a base color. Now we're going to learn to use saturation, value, and hue to make a complete digital painting of this reference. Again, reference photo is very important because it shows us the standard in terms of those three components of color. As you can see, I have already chosen a color that is a more saturated of color, but it is the same hue. So I have the smudge tool ready. Make sure that I'm in the strength that I like and all samples are together when I smudge that. So I'm just going to do this. I can do it smaller and bigger size. Now, however, you can see problem is here. I smudge all over the outline. What am I going to do? I'm going back to the original layer. I am going to use Magic Wand. And I am going to go back to this one, this layer, and I click backspace. Now it's all deleted. So what I'm going to do is that I don't want to have it smudge all over again. So I have to select an inverse. And let's try again with the smudge tool. I can keep going out, not having any trouble. Now let's try another value layer here. The value is basically the original color, but just make it darker or lighter, but not mixing with any hue. So I'm just going to do this because I can smudge it backward. This is just a very quick tutorial. All right, good. So you feel like, nah, I can still see a little bit of yellow here. It's not perfect yet. Well, because again, reflection, sometimes it shows you different hue instead of just the use of value. That's the tricky part of being an artist. We have to analyze the color. I think this is a good strength for the smudge tool. But of course, feel free to adjust. We all have our own preference. Now, I think it's almost done. What am I going to do is, I'm going to add a new layer. I am going to actually put a super highlight with a brush tool. Some harsh line. I'm going to smudge it just a little bit, but I am going to lower it. Lower the size. Okay, now here I can always go back to the hue so that it will complete the shape. And I'm going to deselect it. Look at that. So this is our demonstration. Please make sure you save it as JPEG for submission. Please save your work as JPEG on Photoshop and submit it for this week's homework.